Let's talk about what's really going to make the difference on their Super Bowl run. Backup quarterback.
Backup quarterback.
Backup quarterback. Jimmy's going to be gone most likely. And we're going to talk about the logistics of that, but they're going to have to bring in, I think, another quarterback. And that's interesting. Well, how do you go about that? What would you like them to do at that very important position?
It is a critical position. And my initial thought is that you can't possibly go into the season with Nate Sudfeld as your backup, right? Like you can't. You can't. Can you?
No.
I didn't think so. I mean, the Niners positioned it in such a way that maybe they believe it. They brought him up from the practice squad as sort of that reward, right? He got a game check week 18. That was a big boost in pay. And people have intimated that perhaps that was because they intend on keeping him as the backup. A little gift to Nate Sudfeld to let him know he was valued, to let him know he was appreciated, to let him know that they want him back. To me, that would be a terrible strategy to go in with Trey Lance and Nate Sudfeld backing him up, because you know that there's at least a distinct possibility that the backup quarterback ends up playing a couple games, right? I mean, after week 5, if Trey had been the starter, we would have been back to whoever was the backup for a couple of weeks with that knee injury.
Yeah. Look, I love the conspiracy theory with Sudfeld. They did give him a game check. That's a big deal for him. I think it was basically a thank you.
Right.
You know, you probably could be on an NFL roster collecting game checks as a backup, but you decided to be on our practice squad, which is you get no money for that.
Yep.
And so here's thank you. I don't think that means he's going to be their number 2 quarterback next year. Because here's the thing. There's no evidence you can win football games with Nate Sudfeld. He may be great in practice or in the meeting room. He's probably phenomenal in the meeting room. But the whole thing with Lance, he's going to run. He might miss a few games. He hurt his knee this year. He hurt his finger this year.
Yes.
You need someone that you can feel confident can win some 2 or 3 games when needed with a team that is very, very good. Debo, all these players. So I guess it doesn't really matter. As long as you feel confident you can win some games with the guy, that's who you want. And it's not Nate Sudfeld. He's there to help in the meeting room.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, he's capable of tanking a game. We know that for a fact.
Other thing is, I saw Steve Young saying the Niners need to bring in a vet who can like sort of help Trey Lance in the meeting rooms. Any vet is going to know, Trey's going to know the offense better than any vet. Any vet's going to be, hey, Trey, what's this? Can you tell me about this? And Trey's going to be like, can I focus on? I'm just saying, like, that's what Sudfeld is there for. Sudfeld's almost 20. He's a vet. He's 28. He knows the offense as well as Trey does. There's no one else you can bring in who knows it better unless you keep Jimmy. And I don't even know how well Jimmy knows the offense. So I think to me, you just, if it's anyone who can win some games with you, if it's someone who has Trey's skill set, great. If he doesn't, but you can win with him, great. Like Colt McCoy. Seems like he'd be fine. I don't know how expensive he'll be, but
that's the interesting piece for me. The 49ers are very much a cash-strapped team. They have 31 players under contract. We're going to get to all that in just a minute. But if you look at the quality backups in the NFL, when you look at the incentive-laden deals that they've gotten, the 2 candidates that I think I would point to as more experienced, capable backups that could step in and certainly win you some games, Tyrod Taylor, Andy Dalton. If you look at both of their contracts, Tyrod Taylor got a $12.5 million contract, very incentive-laden. His base salary was about half that. Andy Dalton, roughly a $10 million base salary, up to $13 million with incentives. I just don't know that the Niners have that kind of cash to spend on a backup quarterback. But if I could, I would plug in Tyrod Taylor. You have someone who is, an NFL vet, a leader in a locker room, a veteran presence, and is, a mobile quarterback that is similar in that way to Trey Lance.
Yeah, there's him. There's also Cam Newton as Dustin the Gale, probably goes to St. Mary, says, I'm actually cool with Cam Newton. The thing with Cam is, what does he want to do? Cam's been so proud. He wants to be a starter. He wants to okay, man, well, if you're over that and you're down to sort of like do what Jameis Winston did and kind of just take a step back and regroup the pieces of your career, that'd be a great place to do it. You could back up a quarterback who could learn for you, probably looked up to you as a kid, probably, and you'd be on a hell of a team that really is good at carrying quarterbacks. I mean, I don't know what Cam Newton wants to do, but if he buys in, I'd be into that for sure.
That's
But
the
Tyrod
key.
Taylor's cool too. Yeah.
He would need to want to do that because he's been very clear about wanting to be the face of a franchise, wanting to be the starting quarterback, and acting in a way of someone who very clearly wants to be the starter, and that could be a problem. Right.
I respect that. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He believes in himself.
Absolutely.
But that's not what the Niners need as a backup.
No.
You know, Jameis Winston was a really good backup for Drew Brees, just kind of chilling and saying, I just want to learn. I want to get my career together. If Cam wants to do that, he'd be perfect. But I think there are good options, and I don't think the Niners need to spend a lot of money on this spot. There's good options. Colt McCoy is a good option if all else fails.
Right. It'll be interesting to see if they target someone and go out immediately after them and pay a slightly higher market value, or if they wait and let other teams establish value and then look for that bargain towards the end of free agency.
Yeah, because I mean, like, Colt McCoy is not going to play the way Trey Lance plays, but he could operate the offense the way Jimmy did. Very similar. So
yes,
it's an option. Yeah.
And there are a lot of vets out there like Colt McCoy.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't need to spend a second or third round pick on a quarterback. I don't think that would really help having another young guy who's learning the offense and isn't ready to play.
No, that seems like a problem waiting to happen.
Yeah, I think so. James Hennessy says RG3 backup quarterback. He has looked washed to me for about 10 years. I don't know, man. I don't think so.
And I don't think he likes the Shanahan family all that much.
No. And when I say washed, he looks slow. He hasn't looked athletic in a very long time, which is a problem. I'd rather have that Huntley guy from Baltimore who came in and he was good. Is he? I don't know. I got to look that.
That would have to be a trade.
Backup quarterback list: Tyrod Taylor, Fitz, McCoy, Keenum, Dalton. I would not bring Mitch because he's probably trying to go somewhere he can play.
Case Keenum is an interesting name.
Certainly.
He's capable of winning a couple of games.
Nick Mullins? Probably not. Probably not. No, the fan base, I think the fan base in the locker room pretty much rejected him.
Yeah, certainly the fan base.
If Mitch can't find a better job and he wants to do another 1 year study abroad program, come to the Niners, man. Absolutely. He's a good back. He's one of the better backups you could get.
You've got upside with that. There are very few of these vets that have upside. Most of them, you're bringing them in because they are very clearly backups, and they're okay with that.
Yeah, he started a playoff game. I don't think Colt McCoy has. I don't think. And this team is, probably going to be in the playoffs. With third place schedule, we should be 12-5. Boom. Yeah. They were 10-7 last year with their backup quarterback. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop doing things like that. It's not fair. He's gone.
It's not. Jimmy deserves respect.
He does. Definitely
Definitely
going to need him. I don't know about that, man. He's got a messed up knee, a real messed up knee. I wouldn't hold my breath.
No, expectation should be low, but he did, and this is me trying to spin it to the positive, he did go to the same surgeon that Nick Bosa had do his knee. So maybe it really was just a bad procedure, and now it's cleaned up, and he's going to be the monster we all wanted him to be. But yeah, I don't think we should get our expectations up.
Yeah, I mean, it's great that he went to Nick Bosa's guy, but it's not the same injury.
Nope.
It's not. Keenum is what Nick Mullins wishes he could be. They're very similar. Undrafted free agents are about. Yeah, I mean, you guys are being real hard on Nick Mullins. Why do people still hold a grudge on Nick Mullins?
I don't know. I feel like we shouldn't have a grudge against him.
I mean, he played mop-up duty last season. I don't want to do the Nick Mullins thing. For a long time with when Debo was out and a lot of players were out. And then he got hurt. And he had to play. He had to, not, battle back and not have Tommy John. I saw him play one game with the Browns this year when everyone got COVID. I thought he was decent. I don't know.
Decent. Yeah.
I thought he was decent. I mean, he's going to stay in the league for a little bit.